Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and joining me on the podcast today is the biggest LILF at TMZ, Derek Kaufman.
I love it. Now I get to be called a LILF. I think that might be the first ever recorded usage of the term LILF.
So you're a pretty good lawyer here at TMZ.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about CNN versus Diddy because his lawyers are saying CNN destroyed and altered the tape, whereas CNN's saying we didn't. So it's a bit of a...
It's a little news organization said, disgraced rapper said.
Yeah, as the old expression goes.
The old expression.
And love is in the air because we'll spend the rest of our show talking about LOVE love.
That's right.
Tiger Woods is officially dating Vanessa Trump. Their kids go to the same school. You know, Tiger's a big Trump friend, so
massive development.
Massive.
What a power couple.
Michael B. Jordan might be dating Harry Styles' ex. How does Taylor Russell do it? And Meryl Streep and Martin Short, it appears they might be dating too.
Save it. Let's cover some Diddy before we get to Love is in the Air.
Okay. To the dark stuff first. CNN is denying claims by Diddy's legal team that they altered footage of him beating Cassie and then destroyed the only known copy of the video.
We got to catch people up. This was yesterday's bombshell news in the Diddy criminal case, where his team now says, we've confirmed that CNN acquired that video, purchased it, the Intercontinental video of him beating Cassie and so forth. They then put it into free editing software. They changed it up. They covered the timestamp. They modified the sequence of events, and they sped things up. And then they destroyed the original. CNN is saying, whoa, we didn't do that. All we did was we got a video. We used it. There was a Diddy investigation, sure, but this was, months before he was arrested. This was just while this was a story out there in the ether. And then the source that gave us that video retained the original. We didn't sit there and destroy it and burn it. That makes us look like we're trying to hide something. We just used it as a piece of news media for the world to consume.
And does the footage look sort of edited? I know the accusation was that they was sped up some parts, cut out other parts. But of course, when you're putting together a package to put on Twitter, you cut it up and so it tells the story rather than maybe they got 2 hours worth of footage. Of course, they have to edit it.
Yeah, maybe people don't think about this as much as we do because we do news media. But of course, a static video, this is like surveillance video in the hallway of a hotel. A lot of it's going to be empty hallway.
Right.
And they're only going to show you the action part of the video. No one wants to watch 8 minutes of empty hallway before Diddy in a towel comes out and beats up Cassie. So they compressed it. Even when I first saw it, have you ever seen old Benny Hill videos? They're sort of comedic, sped up. It looks sped up. I mean, it's obviously much darker. This is him beating up a woman, but when he throws the flowers, it looks sped up. He doesn't got that kind of arm. You know, everything is compressed to present to you a guy beating up his then girlfriend. It doesn't alter the substance of the video. You're still watching a man. So to me, the fact that it's altered doesn't rehabilitate Diddy in any way. That if you add some context, there's still no reason or rational, sort of basis under the sun to beat up a woman like that.
Of course, but whether or not this video will be admissible in Diddy's trial is a big thing because as far as we know, it's the only footage of him doing such acts. Maybe they've got more. I don't. But as far as we know, this is a big evidence for the prosecution. And if they can't, show the jury, then maybe Diddy, it's a helping hand.
Look, we're coming up on May. This is the only piece of video that we've seen. They seized a bunch of stuff in those raids, and I assume there were hard drives. There's always been sort of allegations that maybe he recorded sexual encounters and then used it as sort of leverage to keep people quiet. So I don't know what they recovered in those raids, but they're going to have to share it with the other side. They have an opportunity to respond, and the trial's coming up. I do want to caution people, though, this isn't the centerpiece of the government's case. This is a beating video from 2016. That is not what he's charged with. The statute of limitations has long run on that. What it does is it shows they say that was after a freak off, and it shows his propensity for violence. So here's a visceral example of him, being violent towards a woman after a sexual encounter. So they think it relates to the freak offs. But what the case is really about is about sex trafficking and sexual misconduct over course of years. I think they've reached back like over a decade now. So this is just one piece of evidence, not like the prosecution's case falls apart. And the other component of this is that CNN may have done all these things. They don't know any duty to preserve evidence. They're not under trial. Prosecutors didn't destroy the evidence. That would be very bad.
Right.
This is a little bit of a sideshow. It does sound very bad, though, initially. And you're like, oh, boy, now Diddy's going to go free. I don't think it's going to get that far.
Well, someone's wrong out of these two. Someone's wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Diddy's team is so adamant that CNN said they destroy the original and that they did edit this. And CNN is so adamant back saying, no, we didn't.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Who
interesting.
knows? Cassie's lawyer, though, has said, look, it's BS that this is edited in any way that sort of distorts what happened. And that's interesting because she's going to be one of the key witnesses. And she gets on the stand and she just describes for the jury what happened. He can't really challenge that because the instant he sort of says that's not what went down, they say, oh, really? That video you wanted to sort of keep out of evidence? We can bring it in to prove that that's true. So he wouldn't want to open that door. That's a little technical for you. But, her attorney says, fine, it doesn't distort anything, and I'll testify to it. And that could be pretty powerful, too.
Okay, on to our next story. Tiger Woods. He is dating Donald Trump's ex-daughter-in-law.
Yes. You did. You did it perfectly.
I did it.
Yeah.
Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife, with whom he shares kids, particularly Kai Trump, who kind of came to prominence during the campaign. She's a 17-year-old golfer, golfs with Charlie Woods, Tiger's son, and they both go to the Benjamin School in Florida. So that's obviously where Tiger may have met Vanessa. And also, Tiger's like been in sort of the MAGA wings for a while now. He actually was spotted with Donald Trump like a month ago, days after his mum had passed away. So they're close.
There is a sort of part of Florida. I'm from there, and it's called, I believe it's now called Billionaires Row. Like Tom Brady has a house there. Tiger Woods lives there. The Trumps have homes there, Ivanka. And that's the dating scene as well. I believe Donald Trump Jr. is now dating someone else from that scene as well because he broke up with Kimberly Guilfoyle. So it's very, not incestuous because they're not related, but it's a very small dating pool. So this doesn't shock me that much, but it's a massive development. Tiger Woods is probably the biggest sports celebrity in South Florida. He's around golf courses. If you follow certain people, he's always taking pictures with fans. He's sort of past his prime as a golfer, but his celebrity is massive. This is huge. I mean, I'm sure Donald Trump, who's an avid golfer, President Trump, loves this, right? I mean,
yeah.
my son, there's always this dynamic between Trump Jr. and Donald Trump Sr. that he's trying to impress his father. You could imagine him being like, "Look, Dad, I'm dating, I'm dating
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Oh, well, no, this doesn't work. Sorry, scratch all that.
Scratch all that?
Yeah, because Vanessa's dating Tiger Woods.
Yeah, Vanessa's dating Tiger. Now,
Usually Donald Trump Jr. tries to impress his father. I've messed it up.
Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Or maybe she's trying to impress her
Kimberly
father-in-law.
Guilfoyle is the only one who's like single right now, but she's the ambassador to Greece,
Yeah,
so that's not bad. Probably
that's
find a
pretty
man
cool.
over there.
It's pretty cool. He's kind of nice to the exes.
So I guess now we know how Tiger tore his Achilles.
I didn't think of that, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Look, I think this will be, it keeps Vanessa Trump relevant, right? If you're an ex, you could go on the outskirts of the family. But now that you're with Tiger Woods, that's always going to keep a sort of connection to Donald Trump, who would love to play a round of golf with Tiger
Right.
Woods. So.
Michael B. Jordan and it may be his new girlfriend. Actually, we don't even know. But Taylor Russell, they were spotted together in London out at a matcha cafe. And it's letting people to speculate, maybe they're dating. And if so, this Taylor Russell would have bedded the hottest white guy and hottest black guy in Hollywood.
Yeah, she is quite fetching. I mean, if you look at pictures of her, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it.
It'd be strange if she wasn't quite fetching.
You can see that she's universally appealing.
Yes.
So I'm not that surprised that Michael B. Jordan has an interest in her. He likes very beautiful women historically. And
Right.
so does Harry Styles, who dated Olivia Wilde, right?
Yep.
And so he also likes pretty ladies. So, I mean, I'm not as shocked, but yes, her roster's looking very Pete Davidson-y.
Of course,
very
those
good.
guys like pretty ladies, but there's a lot of pretty ladies out there, and
That's
this
true.
particular one seemed to get both of them potentially.
She's got something.
She's got something.
She's got something. Look, Michael B. Jordan's probably one of the most eligible young Hollywood guys, right? He's never sort of locked down for a very long period of time. I think he was with Steve Harvey's daughter
Yeah.
for the longest period. Maybe they got engaged.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
they were together for
Right.
like an extended period of time. But once he's out there, man, Michael B. Jordan, look at his body. I mean, and he doesn't have any of the baggage of Jonathan Majors, right?
Right,
He brings none of that baggage, but he brings that same bod.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's very nice. I'm happy for this couple. I think they'll make it.
Speaking of great bodies, Martin Short, it appears he's dating Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep, for about a year now, Page Six is reporting that they've been dating for a year. And, like, these guys are both, it's age appropriate. They're both in their mid-70s. That is crazy.
Tell me what strikes you. Does it seem that Meryl Streep is too decorated of an actress for Martin Short, and he's kind of just a Steve Martin's funny little friend?
No, I didn't see it that way.
Okay, how do you see it? You see it as equals?
I see they're not equals, but Martin Short is so funny that he almost gets to equal. They're not even equal height, but you know what I mean?
It's the proof that humor is what matters.
Wins.
This wins. She's one of the most important women in Hollywood. She's elegant. She's beautiful, but she just wants to laugh at dinner. And Martin Short is hilarious, right? Martin Short's a fun guy to hang out with.
But imagine, like, going on your, like, opening dates, like that first time that you, like, hop into bed together. I mean, you're super old. Like, what is you take a pill and you say, let's wait half an hour, Meryl.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know when I think people just start dating.
There's just companionship. I was listening to another podcast about, like, as you grow older, we all think you're always going to find 20-year-olds hot. I actually think it's been different. Like, now that I'm in my 40s, I kind of find 40-year-olds hot. And I think when I get in my 60s, I'm going to find 60-year-olds hot. I think you just kind of grow, your taste grows. Yes, young people are attractive.
I think it evolves to sort of, like, what you can attain, what you in your mind think you can attain, even though we're both happily married. I mean, looking at a bunch of young ladies, like, that'd never be into me. Why am I even like considering it?
We always talk about this. Like, you look, Margot Robbie's beautiful, Sydney Sweeney's beautiful. I wouldn't know what to do with Sydney Sweeney. If she made eyes at me, I'd look at the ground. I would turn off all the lights.
It wouldn't be a pleasurable experience, like, you know, Sydney Sweeney. It'd be embarrassing.
Riddled with anxiety. You think she wants to see my fleshy, soft body? I don't like. There's no. That's not enjoyable for Sydney Sweeney, and it's certainly not enjoyable for me to look in her eyes and know she's not enjoying. Oh man, I'm in my head already. Even thinking about the fantasy, I can't enjoy that. I can't even think about Sydney
Give me
Sweeney.
A 3 out of 10. Just give me a 3 out of 10. Now I will enjoy that. I'll feel confident.
But Meryl, oh man, I could show Meryl one night.
Oh wow,
because I'd be like Meryl. The young buck, you know,
the young buck. You know. All right, let's read out some of your comments. Bezo Lego, the diddler is grasping at straws. I have no idea how this case is going to go. I literally, like, you know, we've lived throughout, like, you know, OJ getting off, and that's what, like, I have no idea if Diddy will get sentenced or not.
I think Harvey said something interesting. Like, we've heard nothing but negative stuff about Diddy. On May 5th, you're finally going to hear him present, like, his big defense of this case, because we see civil suits from Busby all the time. We hear nothing but, like, this guy beat people up and he sex trafficked. I kind of want to see him mount a defense because his job is much easier. The prosecution has to convince 12 jurors to say guilty. He has to convince one to hold out, and then he gets a mistrial, and that buys him time. Right. So it's a lot easier case, and I think he's got good lawyers. We'll see.
David says he's seen the video. It's shocking and disgusting. He's team CNN on this. I mean, I don't know. One of them's right, one of them's wrong. I don't know if there's, like, miscommunication, but
if he had said it'd been altered to show something that didn't happen, like CGI, like, if it was altered in a meaningful way that falsified,
speeding up. But also, if you've edited out stuff, maybe you've edited out some exculpatory. Not that there would be, because
exactly what is the exculpatory? Because I think his idea is that you took it out of context. Well, what context helps you? That's my question. Is what context helps you?
The only thing that would be relevant is if Cassie initiated the contact. But
maybe
she didn't.
Yeah.
Justin Harris says, "Wow, I haven't heard Tiger's name in a while." We haven't actually.
That's an interesting question. Does Vanessa Trump make Tiger Woods more relevant? Because the Trumps are certainly a much more top-of-mind family than Tiger Woods. I mean, Tiger Woods hasn't won a golf tournament. He's not going to beat Jack Nicklaus. He's always injured. And he's a little bit faded from the limelight. And maybe he's grasping, man. He's attaching to a Trump name.
If they got married, I could see Tiger doing the new age thing, going by Tiger Trump.
Tiger Trump. It has a nice ring to it.
It has a really nice
make
ring.
A logo with TT.
Oh, we've thought of that, didn't we? Stella thinks Steve Martin is probably jealous of Martin Short, Taylor Russell. Probably, actually. When your buddy gets a new girl and he doesn't want to hang out with you as much.
100%. They're best friends, too.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen documentaries. They are really close. And Steve Martin is, like, tall, good-looking with that shock of white hair. He probably thought he could have pulled Meryl, right?
Probably.
Martin swooped in.
Probably. MM Says Derek is showing off the guns today.
Man, I've heard a lot of comments about the
Yeah.
guns. I honestly, even in the office, people are like, "You working out?"
Right.
And I always tell them,
Are you?
like, not much.
Right.
I mean, I run.
You run?
Yeah.
You have like a Stairmaster? Or...
Oh, you've seen me on the Stairmaster?
I have.
Don't act like you don't know that I'm known for walking the Stairmaster.
No, but I know that just by looking at your like the back half.
Yeah. Oh, the donk.
The donk, you got a badonka-donk, and your calves are second to none. You've got the best calves in the office.
I mean, second only to Dennis Broad, who's got some beauties, man.
He has got
those
some
heart-shaped,
calves.
very thin calves, and a beautiful heart-shaped calf. Look at it around the office. Okay. He wears shorts sometimes.
He wears shorts too often during winter, Dennis does, actually, which is weird. But anyway, thank you, Derek.
A lot of fun.
And we'll see you guys here next week. Goodbye.